Like, you should see, like, where Obama stay at, like, where Obama house at up in Chicago, it's, like, heavily guarded by, like, Secret Service. But 2 blocks over is the biggest shootout zone ever up in Chicago. Man, I call it population control. Y'all know what the fuck going on, man. They won't, you know, the rich gonna stay rich, the poor gonna stay poor, you know, they know how they, and then I just get the call, like, I'm in traffic and shit, and I just get the call, like, you know, I'm talking about, that's how I turned it to Rico Reckless. That's how I got the Reckless on my name after that situation.
Shit, bro, this shit really, this for real in Chicago. That rap beef shit is getting niggas shot. It ain't fake. Yeah, I pop right outside, put the shit right on Twitter. Nigga, I'm out here for real. Don't play. I ain't with that rap shit.
Hey, yo, squad, what's the drill? Back with another video, man. You know, many rappers have claimed that they built themselves up from nothing, but most of them were able to get their foot through the door with collabs with bigger artists. But Rico Reckless is somebody who actually did it himself. He started off as just a kid who liked to rap and is now one of the biggest names in Chicago, not only as a rapper, but a personality. In this video, we're gonna bring you the raw truth of Rico Reckless' story and how he fought against all odds to get where he is today. I mean, from beefs with people like Lil Mister, 600 Breezy, Snapdog, all types of cats, as well as jail time. He really was out here. So without further ado, let's skip the play and get down to business. Rico was born Ronnie Ramsey, and he was born with what we would call the opposite of a silver spoon in his mouth. Throughout his early life, he was constantly moving from one side of Chicago to the other, from Inglewood to the east side. He's lived through it all. And seeing his family go through hard times ended up making him a very hard-working person too. But while he did have the drive in him, he didn't have the father figure to guide him through life. That led him to picking up things from the men that were surrounding him, who weren't really men at all, and actually they weren't anybody worthy of looking up to. With them, he became a teenage bully and had no regard for the people around him. It gave him this false sense of security, and that the tougher he acted, the more untouchable he'd be. He was constantly getting into fights, wouldn't listen to his teachers, and even bought a strap to school.
Chilling. In school, still drilling.
And got suspended from school every year. But that's just what the environment he grew up in was calling for. You had to be a tough kid who didn't care about anything to get somewhere. Somebody had to be on top, and if it wasn't you, it would be somebody else, and you'd be the one getting stepped on. Rico kept up this way of living when he broke into the music world. He was a natural at rapping, and he knew that if he worked hard enough at it, he'd get somewhere with it. Throughout his life, he looked up to several artists like Chance the Rapper, Lupe Fiasco, King Louie, and Lil Durk. That's who he wanted to be like, so he started rolling out mixtape after mixtape, hoping that he'd garner an audience. But he took it a little too far. Instead of getting prop guns in his music videos, he just featured the real straps he had on him. That got him into serious trouble, and he ended up under house arrest for 3 years. This was one of the first times that he saw firsthand what having illegal firearms could do to his life. His freedom was taken away from him at a time where he really could have used it, and he could have been making better videos for his mixtapes and gradually climbing the ladder. Though this would end up being a very minor setback compared to what happened next. One of his closest friends, Samuel, was taken out. He was just a kid still in his early teens, and it really showed Rico how straps can not just take lives but also affect the lives left behind. Samuel's demise affected him so much that he couldn't function afterwards. And to make matters worse, his sister got hit too.
And then I just get the call, like, I'm in traffic and shit, and I just get the call, like, you know, I'm talking about, that's how I turned it to Rico Reckless. That's how I got the Reckless on my name. After that situation, they started calling me Reckless because I turned the fuck up. I started being so wild because I started being niggas tried to family. For what? On some hateful shit?
At this point, it was clear to Rico that once his house arrest ended, he needed to figure out a way to do better. Throughout the last year of his being homebound, he wrote as much music as he could. He started releasing it too. Every time he dropped music, he got more and more popular, and if he just played his cards right and stayed away from the gang drama, he had a real shot at making it. Even if that meant leaving behind the place that he grew up in. Although he was proud of being from Chicago, he couldn't deny the drama that was around and so natural to where he was. He's been really open about the fact that Chicago predisposes you to fail. The gang drama is everywhere you go. It's hard to do anything without getting caught in it. If it's not beef with another, it's territorial disputes. If not that, you're just caught in the crossfire that you have nothing to do with. It's a fight that's extremely hard to win. He's even compared the situation to how Obama's house is heavily guarded because you really can't survive otherwise.
Obama house set up in Chicago is like heavily guarded by like Secret Service. But 2 blocks over is the biggest shootout zone ever up in Chicago. Like, people don't know that. Like, and that's what I'm saying. It's like,
For him, Chicago has a long way to go before he considers it a safe place to be, although he did start to feel that way during his house arrest. But after he became a father, that feeling just got stronger. Despite the love that he has for the place, he can't see him bringing his child up in the same environment that he grew up in, and that's good on him.
I'm still in Chicago. I stay in the hood. I still stay on the block. But I want my kids to so they can have a chance at life. I'm not no dummy. I know what's going on.
This is something he's received a lot of hate over, but he's still very vocal about it. What he considers the worst of it all is the fact that while people do know a gist of what goes on in Chicago, the news really doesn't cover any of it. The street crimes are too intense for the mainstream media to ever even cover. So until you're really in it, you don't get the full feel of what living in Chicago is really like.
This is Chicago. This is the reality of which we live in. This is the shit they don't talk about on the news. You know what I'm talking about though? Like, it's in our city, and we just trying to maintain and survive, and like, come on, bro, like, this shit. Like, do you sometimes see Chicago news, like, how many people get shot?
When mainstream media doesn't cover something, it's up to the people who actually live there to bring it to the light. So he started rapping about it. With that, though, he ended up stepping on some toes very publicly. He remixed Tupac's Hit 'Em Up in 2016, dissing just about every rapper in Chicago. And with that, he got his name popping everywhere. Some of these feuds were limited to just people dissing him online, while others panned out a little differently. Rico and Little Mister even got into a physical fight at the corner store. At least no straps were involved, though. The fight was viral and was the cause for plenty of laughter amongst the spectators on social media. Even I have to admit it wasn't a good look for either person. Lil Mister is no longer with us, RIP to him, but before he passed, he made it clear how he felt about the issue with Rico.
Shit, you don't shit, I don't with this.
Okay.
The whole beef really about Instagram and this is 50 interviews and shit, and
What? It's about interviews?
interviews and Instagram lives and shit, and you know what I'm saying, steady, my name steady coming about, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just seen, I was just in his video, like,
Not too long ago.
yeah, I was in his video, so shit, you feel me? Everything was good on my book. So I go looking, and I go look on the internet, and I'm saying, let's sneak this and shit. Talk about old shit from 2012 about me, like, just sneak this, and like the hatred so real in my city, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Rico, on the other hand, still expressed throughout the whole situation that he had love for Lil Mister. He blamed the initial fight on the fact that Lil Mister was getting too faded around that time and was talking reckless, and the altercation was just a product of everything that was said online.
You got some woods. We go to the gas station, by the little store. It's like a little store. Soon I pull up to the store. Guess who in that motherfucker? Guess who see us and then run the store? This little mister. I say, this little, then he just on the net say if he don't see me, he gonna clap me up, and I ain't from the.
Around that time, Rico even had some issues with the infamous Detroit rapper Snap Dogg.
I was losing too much money, man. Don't y'all want to make it home to y'all kids, man? Cause I'm the type of nigga, I send your mama some roses just to show you how close I can get to you. Y'all better leave me alone, bro. I'm focused on the money and giving the fans new music, man. And plus, I don't beef with y'all rap niggas.
According to Snap Dogg, the issue spawned from Rico talking ish about his brother.
Smoke the snap, it was just basically because you disrespected his brother.
It wasn't even that though. It was the fact that he just fronted his shit for the computer, bro. You know at the end of the day, bro, I've been told you, bro, we can link and fight, bro. And you did all that extra for the computer. Then your big homie called and tried to knock this shit off, and then you went on the computer and tried to act like that wasn't what it was. Then you tried to sneak to my city, and then knowing that I knew you was here and I said let's link up, you was scared. Then you tried to do.
Of course, that feud never got deadly and seemed to bring both rappers a lot of clout at that time. There was even plans to have a boxing match to hash things out. That didn't materialize, but it didn't look like it was even necessary because it wasn't that serious in the first place. The smoke Rico had with 600 Breezy seemed a little more personal though.
I just sent a tweet out like, you diss me in a song, you get fucked up, and I'm like, what? You know what I'm saying? He went right off. He put up an old video, made it seem like he was driving down King Drive. You know what I'm saying? It was raining, the video rained on the car. It was like, you know what I'm saying? This shit was crazy. I popped right outside, put the shit right on Twitter. Nigga, I'm out here for real. Don't play. I ain't with that rap shit.
600 had a good point in saying that even though Rico was looking at this like a sport, in Chicago you can't really play like that. Even rap bars turn into clapped cars.
Bro, you can't play with this shit. I done lost my homies because of this rap shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? His homie JoJo dead because of this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what this shit, bro, this shit really, this for real in Chicago. That rap beef shit is getting niggas shot. It ain't fake.
However, in that era, Rico was on one and wasn't caring about nothing bro was saying.
All right, man, so 600 Breezy in the incident.
A 600-year-old that's gonna get smacked 600 times.
This too simmered down, thankfully, and Rico kept moving along. But moments like that was really either going to turn you into a person that was ready for smoke at all times, or you flip the tables entirely and figure out how to do better. Rico chose the latter. As soon as he felt like he had enough money to start over, he picked up his family and moved out of Chicago. He wanted to put as much physical space between himself and where he grew up as possible, so he could at least attempt to change his life for the better. But Chicago feuds don't really have any borders. Just because he moved wouldn't mean that he'd just be able to move away scot-free. He couldn't leave any loose ends behind. For him to actually leave Chicago life, he had to set everything right. So right before he officially made the move, he made a lot of effort to figure out how to squash the long-standing beef that he had with everybody. From Mr. to STL, he set things right with everybody, most of it privately. Beef is a part of the game in Chicago, and Rico wanted out. That isn't easy to do, so he had to put in a lot of effort to get there because his goal was always to get out of there. While it might seem like he was putting in way too much effort to leave a city, what he's saying actually makes sense. Lil Mr., the man that he had fought with at the corner store, ended up getting taken out a few months later at that very corner. He had the money, he's made it big, he could have gotten out of there, but he didn't do it. Because of that, he was stuck in a vicious cycle of drama that eventually got him. Rico has been so serious about putting space between himself and where he grew up that he says he doesn't even visit anymore. Why? Well, because the second you step foot back into that environment, something goes wrong. He's even done time for things that he never even did just because he was in the wrong place at the wrong time. But even this isn't easy. It's not just about getting a better apartment and moving your family over, it's also the pressure from the hood. People he grew up with actually still call him out and say that he's not really from the hood because he actually got up and left. For him, that's what everybody should be doing because the environment is only getting worse with time. In the past couple of years, Rico has gotten to a much better place financially, career-wise, and personally. But the hood life didn't really leave him behind. He's still been locked up a few times for various reasons, although he maintains that he was wrongly convicted every time. Because all he's really trying to do is show everybody that it's possible to get out. I mean, not too long ago, a film was released of Rico fighting in jail. I mean, bruh still got internet beefs with other cats like Ruga and them, but this just seems to be a way of life for bruh. Internet smoke keeps him in the algorithm and keeps him relevant. So it is what it is. As long as the people on the other end know the deal and things don't turn fatal, what can we really say? Nevertheless now, Rico isn't just a rapper. He's an influencer, internet personality, and an advocate who's trying to inspire as many people as he can to leave where they're from if it's no good. He wants the gang drama to stop, for young kids to stop getting sucked into the darkness that comes with it, and he really about it too. He's constantly appearing in interviews on YouTube where he talks about the realities of the life he's lived and how it's still extremely difficult for the people who are there to leave Chicago, but hopes that they can actually follow in his footsteps. After squashing a lot of his real-life beef, he's gotten out and now lives among doctors and lawyers. He's working every single day to stay out of the hood while still making music and slowly getting bigger. Sometimes that's through a little promotional beef with somebody. Other times it's a few hot takes on the podcast here and there. But he's taking a path that won't have him running back to the street life and getting taken out. He's devoted to keeping his career and his life so his children can grow up better than he did. But will he really be able to stick to it? We gonna see. We hope so. Until then, stay strong, stay alert, and stay real. I'm out, y'all.